Adani Group firms' shares have lost nearly about $48 billion in terms of their value after the US short seller Hindenburg Research's scathing report on the conglomerate. What has not helped the Indian conglomerate is support for Hindenburg from billionaire US investor Bill Ackman, who said that the US short seller's report on Adani is highly credible and is also very well researched.
Due to Hindenburg's report, Adani Transmission, Adani Green Energy, and Adani Total Gas closed at 20% lower circuits each, while Adani Power and Adani Wilmar hit 5% lower circuits each. Adani Ports wasn't performing any better and tumbled by over 16% at the end of the day. The timing could not have been worse for Gautam Adani's 20,000 Indian rupees crore follow-on public offer, FPO, which came at a time when investors were offloading their positions in the Group's 7 listed stocks extensively. So the question arises, whether Hindenburg is motivated other than the fundamentals of the company or whether there is actually some serious problems in Adani Group that could affect not the Adani investors but all investors at large. Before we discuss, let's see what all information we have so far. Hi, welcome everyone, and let's start first with what has Hindenburg's report and what is this organization. Nathan Anderson founded Hindenburg Research in 2017 to analyze the equity, credit, and derivative markets. Anderson's firm has targeted at least 16 companies to date. It employs 10 people, mostly former journalists and analysts, as reported by Bloomberg. According to Hindenburg's report, the firm put together its short positions in Adani companies through US-traded bonds and non-Indian traded derivative instruments. Hindenburg's report indicated that Gautam Adani, founder and chairman of the Adani Group, has amassed a net worth of roughly $120 billion, adding over $100 billion in the past 3 years, largely through stock price appreciation in the group's 7 key listed companies, which have spiked an average of 819% in that period. The findings of Hindenburg's research report on Adani involved interactions with dozens of individuals, including former senior executives of Adani, and also reviewing thousands of documents and conducting diligent site visits in almost half a dozen countries. Also, the research said, even if you ignore the findings of our investigation and take the financials of Adani Group at face value, its 7 key listed companies have 85% downside purely on a fundamental basis owing to sky-high valuations. All in all, they said that Adani Group has engaged brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud scheme over the course of decades. Although, Adani has denied Hindenburg's accusations. On January 27, Adani Enterprises filed a presentation covering Adani Group's response to Hindenburg report. It was titled, Myths of Short Seller. Adani said, 8 of 9 listed companies have a big 6 auditors such as Deloitte, Ernst & Young, and so on. Adani also said, in terms of governance, 4 of Adani's large companies are in the top 7% of the peer group in emerging markets or the sector or the world. Earlier, on January 25, Jukshinder Singh, Group CFO, Adani said, quote, we are shocked that Hindenburg Research has published a report on January 24, 2023 without making any attempt to contact us or verify the factual matrix. The report is a malicious combination of selective misinformation and stale, baseless, and discredited allegations that have been tested and rejected by India's highest courts. Quote, the timing of the report's publication clearly betrays a brazen, mollified intention to undermine the Adani Group's reputation with the principal objective of damaging the upcoming follow-on public offering from Adani Enterprises, the biggest FPO ever in India, unquote. Also, on January 26, Jatin Jalandwala, Group Head, Legal, Adani said, quote, the maliciously mischievous, unresearched report published by Hindenburg Research on January 24, 2023 has adversely affected the Adani Group, our shareholders, and investors. The volatility in Indian stock markets created by the report is of great concern and has led to unwanted anguish for Indian citizens. Unquote. So now let's come back to our question that whether Hindenburg is motivated other than the fundamentals of the company or whether there is actually some serious problems in Adani Group. Well, honestly, only time has the best answer because things are very fluidic as of now, and I think people should keep an open mind and not get influenced by either parties concerned and should form their own core opinion. If you would to see deep fundamental analysis on Adani Group, please let us know through comments, and until let's keep following this news and stay tuned for more such videos by subscribing to the channel.